Thank you. Thank you for the.
Sam, you've been here a long time. You know about this rivalry. What do you want the younger guys on the team that maybe haven't experienced? I know they experienced maybe some of the guys last year with an empty stadium. Well, usually empty over there anyway, but it was a little bit different with COVID. But what do you want the younger guys to kind of understand about this rivalry?
I mean, you got to play with an edge, just like any rivalry game, and it's horns down all week. So.
Do you guys talk to Gus Malzahn and tell him about the history of this series, or just?
He told us that he wants to tell some of the other guys about it. Talked to our position coach, Coach Hand, told them about it. Talked about how the old regime at USF talked badly about us like 10 years ago or whatever, and how that's turned out. So.
You spent the past however many games he's been starting protecting Mikey King. He's dealing with transitions, et cetera, and things like that. From your perspective, have you seen a constant improvement? Is he easier to protect now than he was when he first started?
Oh, absolutely. You just see a growth. When a young guy gets in there, you can definitely tell you kind of do everything by the book. What they're told to do is what they're going to try to do. And, sometimes you just got to make plays when you have to make plays. And, I think I've definitely seen that growth just from his first start to last game, making plays with his legs. That gives us better tools when it comes to dealing with defenses.
Physically, what's the grind like going into Game 12 on the body?
Oh, it's just you're sore. I'm an old guy, and it's get on there. But just like every guy on the team, we're all sore and all that stuff. It's all about how you take care of your body, and you have to be professional when it comes to that.
Sam, I know obviously you're going to play USF. UCF will play him at least for the next 2 years, it looks like. I know UCF's eventually going to be moving conferences to the Big 12. I'm sure you're kind of versed about, you kind of mentioned that a minute ago, you're well versed of how, that rivalry and how USF is doing everything they could to kind of put down UCF in years past. But maybe there's some satisfaction that, USF is going to leave those guys behind and move on to a Power 5 conference, and they're going to be where they are, and they're not going to be the Big 12.
Obviously it's your rival. You're glad when you do better than them in a future sense. And, it's one of those things where you're like, I bet they were looking at it like 2020, like, man, this kind of sucks. But I'm happy that we were able to build what we built, and now that we're about to go, be in a Power 5 conference, and like UCF should have been from the beginning. And if we leave USF behind, it happens.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish?
Cornbread. I'm a big cornbread guy. I love my aunt's cornbread, so I have to make sure she always makes it. That's like the one thing I always have to have.
The series is tied 6-6. What would it mean if you guys take the series lead?
It'd just be cool. It'd be another thing that we get to, talk smack about later on in life. And, I'm from Bradenton and the Sarasota area, so I know guys on that team. And, I remember coming here, we were down, it was like 2-6 or something, it was something like that. And I had a coach that played at USF, and that's what he would always talk about. Doesn't talk to me about it anymore, so, yeah.
Sam, obviously, later part of your career, we're talking about the potential of leaving USF behind. If that happens, do you see anybody out there who could be the potential next rival?
Obviously Cincinnati's going with us too, right? And as kind of top 2 teams for the last 5 years, I always just have a thing about Cincinnati, but I kind of hope they keep the USF game, honestly. Be better than they were back 10 years ago or whatever.
As far as the younger guys on the O-line, like the freshmen, you've had pretty much a full season to see them. Mm-hmm. Does anybody okay, this guy's next up? Again, you're standing next to him at practice.
Yeah.
Anything in particular about the younger guys?
Honestly, I think all the young guys have done a great job. There's not one particular person I would point out. They all do a good job, A lot of the young guys are on the scout team, so they're going through that, and everything from the defensive coaches, they like what they see over there, and whenever they do come over and we're with them, I can see a kind of a maturing process with them, and that's always good to see. And I think spring will actually be the better tell for everything.
What's the legacy of this senior class?
We've had really good success with 3 different staffs. We went 25-0. We had a really good, we had really good runs, and at the end of the day, we were winners, and I just think we kind of left that legacy, that culture of what we want to be and what we want UCF to be, and I hope the guys in the future can carry it on.
Tim, obviously it's not been a good year in Tampa for those guys, you know, losing a lot of games. You just fired their defensive coordinator last night. But this is their Super Bowl. They're not going to a bowl game. This is their Super Bowl. How much do the young guys to recognize that you know they're going to come ready and try to, they'd love nothing more than to knock UCF off in the bounce house before this rivalry ends?
I mean, just like I said, you got to play with an edge. It doesn't matter who it is, and I think that's one of the things. And Malzahn mentioned earlier. You know, the record book kind of just goes out the window whenever it's a rivalry game, right? Whether someone's having a down year or another, you're always going to get their best, and you know they're going to get our best, and we're going to get their best, and as long as the young guys understand that, that's all it is.
You had a senior day arrives on Friday. Have you had any time to reflect on your time?
Reflect on my time, think about it. I mean, I kind of always think about it. It's been, it feels like when I think about it, I'm like, wow, it's been already 5 years. It was fast, but you know, during the process, like I felt like, you know, we did a good job as a team enjoying the moments that we had, and you know, just, I mean, time does go by fast. I know everyone tells you that, but that's how it is.
What's been your favorite or most memorable moment at UCF?
2017 when we beat Memphis in double overtime to cap off the undefeated regular season, you know, and then eventually beat Auburn. But I would just say that conference championship was, you know, it was unreal. That anyone who was there knows, you know, that was a lecture.
Tim, got to ask, you know, obviously you're going through senior day. You've been here a long time. You've graduated. You move on. I mean, sure, everyone can understand that. But I know guys have another year that you choose to use it. Is this your last game at UCF, or is that a decision that hasn't been made yet?
It hasn't been made yet. You know, I'm keeping all my options open. Kind of be a decision that I talk with the coaches, you know, after the last game.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks,
Have a
Tim.
great day.